Hi, everybody. This is Debbie Bry, Presidential Founder with Team Beautifully Polished. Welcome to your second training video. In the first video, you should have learned to set up a Let's Get Started call, set up your Launch Plus 4, calendar blocking, working on spreading the news about your business, and making sure you were in our different groups, Facebook and Trello. So now I want to move on to a few more steps after that of what you can do to find success with your business. Now is the time to set up some type of different social media groups. If you're not on social media for whatever reason, it's not a bad idea for your business to start it, if nothing else, just to be in our Team Beautifully Polished page, because we do a lot of announcements and stuff in there. If you already are in social media, a couple of the things you're going to want to do. Within Facebook, you are going to want to set up a business page. A business page, there's directions in Trello step-by-step of how you set up your business page. This is where you can have a shop button. You can treat it like a personal page in the things that you post, but you can't tag people. You need to invite people to like it and to follow it. So it's a little bit different than a personal page, but I highly recommend it due to the shopping link. Another type of group you can set up on Facebook is a VIP group. In this group, this is where you will add customers that you meet, add friends, add family. Group settings with Facebook are constantly changing and evolving. Right now, the way it's set, if you add somebody, you're basically inviting them and they have to accept. So, message somebody, or when you meet somebody, say, would you like to join my VIP group? In this group, this is where you can talk about Color Street whenever you want. As opposed to your personal page, you are not going to want to talk about Color Street all the time. People don't want to hear about it on your personal page. But in your VIP group, you can offer specials or promotions. We do not offer specials and promotions on public pages because that can, make it difficult for other stylists if it's publicly out there that they're offering more promotions beyond what Color Street already offers. But in your VIP group, you can choose to do what you want to do. So I recommend starting that and adding friends and family and different people from your frank list. And then as you meet more people, ask if you can invite them to your group. Instagram is a big one. Right now, Instagram is actually kind of the hotter social media group to be in than Facebook. If you have an Instagram account, or if not, and you are going to get one, I would set it up as a business Instagram account. And that way you can have a link on there. If you're doing some sort of a link, you can put it up in your bio. And we have other training just on social media I highly recommend you watch. So I'm not going to go into too much detail in these groups, but that is what you should start setting up. And that's where you can promote your business, promote sponsoring and selling and booking parties. So a great way to get out there and network with people that aren't right in your area. So get those groups set up. Next thing I want you to focus on is starting to think about how you're going to organize your workday. Whether you're doing this, part-time or whether you're doing this full-time, you need to figure out about how many hours you can dedicate towards Color Street a day. And you need to kind of block that time aside. I find if you don't, things probably won't happen. Or if you don't have goals for each day or things set, tasks that you're going to do, it's very easy to get caught up in all the Color Street Facebook groups there are, and you can lose hours of your day just looking through those. It's not the most productive time. I know that you can be grabbing graphics and stuff, but there's far better ways to spend your time. So think about some things you need to do, such as organization of your business, which what you can organize is in our next training call 3. So with organizing also comes preparing your things, sitting down to label things, to get all your stuff together. So finding how much time you're going to do that. Is that going to be a once a month, every 2 weeks? Is it going to take you an hour? Then it's going to be reaching out to customers. You've got to do your follow-up, which is in a separate training as well. Your 2, 2, and 2. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. How are you following up with your customers? Again, if you don't set aside time to do it, it easily slips by and months can go by and you have not reached out to your customers. So figure out how you can manage that in your day. If you are sponsoring people and you start to have a team, you'll need to figure out when you can talk to them, how you're going to talk to them, when you're going to reach out to them. So again, establish the hours in your day. Maybe you are really busy and you have another full-time job. So maybe it means getting up an hour earlier. Maybe it means at your lunchtime. Maybe it means at the end of the day. But figure out that 1 to 2 hours. And when you figure it out, make it productive. Have your list of what you have to get done. Ignore Facebook. Don't multitask. Don't kind of call customers, but then go into Facebook and check different things at the same time or answer phone calls. That's when you turn the phone off and you focus just on that task in order to get it done. That's dedicated work time right there. So I highly advise you look at your week, figure out when you can spend your time, and then start writing down what you're going to do with that time. On the same note, it's also a good idea to establish kind of work hours. We run our own business, and I know in this day and age, we all want instant gratification. I text somebody, I want an answer right away. Well, if I was to go into a store and they're closed, they're not getting back with me. You guys are virtually a business. So you've got to establish your hours with your customers, with your team, with your different stylists on your team. So maybe you've decided Sunday's my family day. I'm not going to work. And people will know that. And you just tell them I don't work on Sundays. I'll get back with you on Monday morning. And that's okay to do that. You may say, I'm not working after 10 p.m. 10 p.m. may be the time you want to start working. So just figure out what it is and make sure you establish that and get it known to your customers and to your team. Another thing I want you to start focusing on, if you have set up your Launch Plus 4 or any sort of nail bar, it's time to start focusing on what you're going to do with your nail bar. I do not want you walking in to a nail bar on a whim and just thinking you're going to make it fly, especially at the beginning. You've got to think about everything you're going to do. And I'll do a training just on things to do to prep for your nail bar in our 4th video series. So right now, I just want you to start thinking about it. How are you going to run it? We have a mock nail bar video you can watch as well in our Beautifully Polished YouTube channel. You can watch that. Now remember, that is like the perfect, this was ran at a meeting. It's the perfect audience. Everything went well. I had the exact amount of time. So this is like the ideal nail bar. But you have to make it into what works for you. And I'll tell you right now, every nail bar is going to be different. You have a different crowd, a different time frame. You have people coming and going. So every nail bar can be run different. But if you go in having the basic bones made up or structure of your nail bar, then you're going to feel a lot more comfortable. One of the reasons we like you to do 4 nail bars right away is you get comfortable right away. You learn what works, what doesn't work. If you do one, then 2 months later you do one, and 2 months later, every time you do one, you get nervous. You have to go over that anxiety each time. You have to figure out what works and doesn't work. But the more you do right off the bat, you build your confidence, you get out there, you feel good about it, and you know what works, and you can hone in on exactly the perfect nail bar for you. So I want you to think about it. Like I said, watch the video, get an idea from that. Are you going to do party cards? We also have in our Facebook group a team meeting where we videoed somebody doing party cards. So you can do party cards if you want. To me, it helps ease you as the consultant, and it just makes the party run real smooth. You go back and forth between you and the customers. It's a really easy way to run your nail bar. Figure out if you're going to do that. Are you going to play a game? What do you need? In the organization video, we're going to talk about different, like the hostess packet that you'll need, a sponsoring packet. So think about the stuff you need and start practicing what you're going to do at your nail bar, so you don't go in just on a whim. I also want you now to practice, what are you going to say to customers? You know, in the last video I said, get out there, you know, start putting samples on people. But what are you going to say? What are you going to say when they say no thank you? What are you going to say when they tell you they don't want to host a nail bar? We have different training on our Trello board with handling objections. Just start looking over those things, because people will give you objections. It doesn't mean no is always a permanent no, but I think people's instant reaction is to say no because we're all so crazy busy. So having some answers ready and a method about it is a great way to be able to respond to people. What are you going to say when someone says, I like your nails? I want you to think about and even write out or practice with your family members different things you can say, or putting samples on people. Sometimes going out with a friend or a family member for the first few times you're doing it makes it a little bit easier, just because it kind of puts you at ease. Or going out with somebody else that sells Color Street makes it easier when someone says, I like your nails. Oh, I'd love to share it with you. Someone says, oh, what a cute purse. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, I just got it. I made enough money this month in my business to buy this purse. I'm so excited. I sell Color Street. Have you heard of it? There's many ways that you can bring your business into everything you do. So just start thinking about those things and practicing what you can say to people. The more you practice it, the more comfortable you are going to feel. So these are my training tips for today. And in the next series, number 3, we will talk about how to start organizing your business. So once again, to reiterate, get your Facebook groups set up, or Instagram, your social media groups. How are you going to organize your workday? I want you to get that schedule, figure out what you're going to achieve each time in that schedule. Think about how you're going to start running your nail bars. You could have a nail bar coming up really soon. You need to start getting it organized. What are you going to need? How are you going to run it? What are you going to say? And then finally, I want you to practice what you will say to customers or potential customers, what you're going to say to people when they express interest in the business. So those are your assignments for this video. Go out there. Again, if you have questions, reach out to myself or your upline leader. We have, again, so many resources. The Trello board I talked about in the last training call. Look back on there. We have lots and lots of things that you guys can look at to help you through this. All right. Have a great day.